This week's episode is brought to you by Tabletop Backer Party on Facebook, which is the largest board game crowdfunding group on this side of the internet. Hello, fellow gamers. Welcome to I'd Back That Kickstarter with Gloryhound and...
DrGloryhogg.
And what else? What do we have to talk about today? We have a bunch of stuff to talk about, actually.
That's how I wait during every time I'm not on camera, I just wait like this.
That's how we wait for all of our viewers.
Yeah.
We have been super excited.
I've been sitting here since last Monday, just like...
Have you? Mm-hmm. I think we've streamed sooner than that.
Since yesterday. I don't remember. It's all a blur. I don't know what day it is.
Hello to everybody in chat. It looks like we have Kabuki Kid and Ronnie and Fatal Paper Cut, Lindsay Redding, Games of Fire,
Petter and Battle Cry.
Battle Cry. Thank you so much for joining us today.
There's a really good looking guy in the chat called DrGloryhogg.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really? I didn't notice him in there. I didn't notice.
It's weird.
Maybe you should say something. But we have lots of stuff to talk about. Not only do we have Kickstarters to talk about,
there he is.
But we also have our Super Chat to talk about, where we are actually going to be moving to YouTube monetization as opposed to our Ko-Fi account. So if you support us on Ko-Fi, that will eventually be changing, and we will be doing everything through YouTube. You'll have little memberships that you can join there, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking for art. Right now it's just on pause because I'm looking for really amazing art because I'm thinking burritos. I think we need to make sure and measure things in burritos. I'm excited about it, everyone. I just want burrito emojis all over the place, okay?
She likes burritos.
That's all I want, is I want to make sure that everybody knows that we fully support burritos.
Yes, fancy YouTuber money.
Because we have all of this crazy Kickstarter stuff to pay for.
Oh, Kabuki hasn't seen your fancy hair. Look at this. Go do the sideways. Look at that, Kabuki. Huh? I did that myself.
Fancy.
I cut it for her.
No, you didn't.
With some gardening shears. I just got at it.
Didn't.
It was great. What's going on, Dexter? And also Nathan.
Absolutely. Okay, and let's see here. Reporting in for Kickstarter news. So, chat. What Kickstarter games are you guys most excited about this week? Do you have?
Yeah, because you know the four we're going to talk about, but there was even a game that you were looking at that you were excited about, but you didn't actually put it up as one of the games. What was that one called? Do you remember?
I don't remember. I'm going to have to get back to it next week.
I put you on the spot. So she's gotten her hair cut, but I have not gotten my hair cut. So it is still, it's a thing.
You're going to end up doing that one do, like back from what, the 60s or something? Pompadour or something like that? I don't know.
It's quite long.
It's going to be amazing.
This is the longest my hair's ever been.
I want to style it so bad.
Because I used to always get just a regular... traditional style haircut, and then in the military I always had to have it really short. So this is the longest it's ever been. This is COVID hair right here.
If I styled your hair in like some crazy like pompadour
sort of thing. Could I do like a mohawk, you think?
Could we record that and you guys would watch it? That's right, exactly. A greaser battle cry, right?
You've never seen me without a hat? It's funny, I only throw it on because it's easy. So like, we get ready for the show, right? She's like, hold on, I gotta get ready for the show. And she's in there doing like makeup and stuff, and I'm like, I'm sitting there and I'm laughing because I'm at work. I'm like, hold on, let me get ready for the show. For the show, I put a t-shirt on and then I go, all right, I'm ready, let's do this.
Ooh, yeah, okay. Role Player Adventures, 4 days away. We crave adventure. That's true, that's true. That one's coming up. There's some other really good ones coming up. We had the
Bringing back the mullet.
The Burnt Island Games one.
In Too Deep.
In Too Deep. That looks really interesting too.
Yeah, which we really have enjoyed the living poops out of Hall of the Mountain King. That was like a lot of fun.
That was a weird way of saying that.
I couldn't remember like the full name of the game for a second there, but that's a Burnt Island Games, and we really enjoyed that one. We played it. We played it live just because we had backed it and we wanted to play it live, and it was a lot of fun. And
we enjoyed the heck out of that Burnt Island game.
Definitely. So which one are we talking about first?
All right, first up we have Eila, Something Shiny. Hold on. This is by Ice Makes. This for 1 to 3 players. It's going to last about 30 to 45 minutes. So, DrGloryhogg, what was your first take on this game?
So hot takes. Ice Makes, they made that game, Civilization game that we backed recently.
They did. Age of Civilization, which was a tiny box game. Yeah.
Pocket game. And the reason why I remember that is because we actually went back and forth on the game with them, because they used to have a card in there that was
said slavery on it.
Yeah, it did say straight up slavery on it. And so we had talked to them about that like last year. Because we even got the game last year. So I mean, it might have been 2 years ago.
Yeah, I think it might have been 2 years ago because we got the game
But we went back and forth with them about that and stuff. They changed the card, which was really great and everything. So that's why I remember that particular company.
We were so excited about that game, and I said specifically, like, I wouldn't be backing that game because one of the main cards it just said slavery on it.
Yeah,
like,
it was
that's
one of
not
the
cool.
main cards you had to play with. And so we talked to them, and what was interesting is they had caught our Kickstarter show. So like us and then you, everybody that's out there, they listened to our feedback, and they were like, hey, your viewers said they didn't like this. What can we do? And we went back and forth, and we got the name changed and everything, and they changed the mechanic a little bit.
Absolutely, which I thought was amazing. So that just shows that particular company will go the extra mile, for things like that. And I really enjoyed that. That was really great.
The reason why I brought it up is it just shows that the people that support this show and talk on this show, companies pay attention.
So everybody in chat, companies pay a lot of attention to you guys in chat. We are probably one of the
Less us, more you.
Yeah, one of the few small groups here that has such a large chat, and companies really, really pay attention to that and what you guys out there are saying. So that's always amazing whenever all of you can turn the tides in a really good favor for something. I always get excited about that.
Petter's scared that he has so much power and influence.
You do. You have so much power. Feel the power, everyone. But how did you feel about Eila and Something Shiny?
So this definitely would get my award for most innovative, right? Especially of the week, because it's such an interesting idea that you can play 1 to 3 players. It's a little story-based game where you get to decide if something is going to happen kind of again, or if it goes into the past and you're done with it. And it just seemed like a really cool idea.
Yeah, absolutely. And from my enjoyment of Age of Civilization, how simple that game was and how interesting the choices were, I really like the fact that they came out with this game, and I assume that they're going to have really, really interesting choices with it, and what I've seen and everything. And
yeah, just from what they've shown you, it seems like it's a good story.
Right.
Better than some of the other narratives we've kind of covered recently. I feel like this is going to be a good one. Here's the one caveat I will say about this, though. I don't know if it fits on our game shelf just because our kid, I feel like it's aged for a younger crowd.
It's like a family game.
Or if you just like light stories. Animal Crossing is really popular with adults, not with kids. So it is going to be kind of like one of those feel-good stories as you're kind of going through. I don't think she's going to get attacked or get the plague or anything like that. I'm pretty sure it's going to be pretty throwing apples at people and stuff. It's going to be cute, right? Cutesy.
Right.
But I have found that our kid doesn't play cutesy. The only way to get our kid to the table is it's got to have some kind of crazy, grim, dark feel to it. And to be fair, you like that also. And it doesn't bother me. So we tend to go Tainted Grail versus something like, Dawnshade.
That's right.
Very different feels.
And Petter says, that's scary. And Ronnie says, oh no, the power will get to my head. It probably will, Ronnie, but we'll still accept you in chat, okay?
So I think it's a super innovative game. I'm glad that it exists in the marketplace. I don't know if I personally would back it because I just don't see us particularly playing it. But I do think it needs a lot of love if it's a good fit for your thing. And that's kind of our whole shtick here, right? We're going to give you our opinions, but realistically, we're trying to give you an idea of what the game is. That's what Gloryhound Presents is. We're trying to present the game to you in the most informative manner we possibly can so you can make the decision based off of you, your family unit, and your gaming friends.
So the pieces in this are probably going to be amazing.
Yeah.
I loved the pieces
really
in the
cool.
Age of Civilization game. This is a legacy-style game where you are going to be opening different boxes and booklets, and you have this adorable little comic book that you read before each little scenario as you go through it. And the cards, you go through the cards and you have different choices that get made on the cards. Not only is this game filled with a crap load of cuteness, but I think it's going to be
crap load.
It's going to be it's well priced too. It's in that $54 range, which I'm like, holy crap. How did they get a storytelling game in that $54 range?
Are you sure you don't want our super chat to just have crap emojis? Because you've been saying crap a lot today.
No.
I am sorry.
This is exactly, what is it? 5 burritos worth. 5 burritos worth. So 5 burritos, that means 2.5.
Well, everyone's mileage on burritos changes.
2.5.
Hey, if there's somebody out there that eats 2 Chipotle burritos per trip, I salute you.
Well, that's true.
That's an accomplishment. I can't do it personally, but I salute you for your efforts.
About 4.5 burritos worth.
Gotcha.
5.5. It matters if you have guac or not. I mean, guac is really important, okay?
You guac heads.
But they do really fantastic work on games. Look at this. I kind of just want the little plushie.
The plush.
Honestly.
I can see the plush. So this one was the one I was honestly most excited about, just off of the initial, like watching the trailer to the campaign, right? Because as everyone knows, I go through them, right? So I went through like 30 Kickstarters this week, I want to say. It was in that 30-ish ballpark. And so you go through them and, I watch the trailers, I scroll through, and I do like a real quick, like, brief look at them, right? And then I build the list, and then she digests that list down into a smaller group, and then we discuss which ones are actually going to make the cut based off of a deeper dive, right? So this is one I was really excited about just from the initial look at it, because it felt different. And honestly, right now, to sell me on something, it has to feel different in some way, shape, or form. Because we are getting to that point of the bloat where we just feel like we have a lot of games and something has to be special.
Something has to be super special in order to get it to your table. So like miniature games, like you have to have a certain style of miniature games because you don't want it to be exactly like the other miniature games that you have. So Kabuki Kid has apparently never purchased a burrito in their life.
That's because Kabuki Kid has always been given burritos for free. Like comps. Like when Kabuki Kid walks into the restaurant, they're just like, and here are your burritos. Like there's just no question asked. That's what happens when you're famous. You just sign some autographs for like the cooks and stuff, and then you eat for free.
Petter also says Chipotle is a lie, and Fatal Paper Cut says burrito pricing is volatile.
What isn't volatile? I mean, let's talk realistically. What isn't volatile?
Well,
do we even know the prices of the PlayStation 5? We don't know. They won't tell us the prices of the PlayStation 5.
Burrito prices in particular, just because like my burrito when I go out to Chipotle is probably $10 or something. It's like, it's not the normal price burrito because I basically get a bunch of vegetables on a burrito, okay? So it maybe, and a lot of guac. To be fair, a lot of guac. I get my guac plus Gloryhogg's guac plus the bear's guac, everybody's guac.
I like that. Ronnie's like, that's what happens if you're a Gloryhound chat member. You're so famous, you get free burritos. That's true. That's probably true. The real power, though, is actually getting Kickstarter campaigns to pay attention to you, because it does happen.
Oh, my goodness.
For example, we were joking around about Elf Creek Games, about getting an Elf Creek Games tattoo because we wanted those deluxe coins. And apparently Elf Creek Games saw that. They thought it was hilarious. And now they're going to send us a copy of the game to play.
So we can play for you guys before the Kickstarter ends, hopefully. I'm hoping they can get it to us before the Kickstarter. So
if we get it, we will play.
Yeah.
That's Merchants of the Dark Road. So
we will play.
The chat helps, honestly. I mean, realistically, because we are a smaller channel, but the chat helps. People see how active our chat is and how excited everybody is to be here, and that really does help out with getting the word out to different companies and stuff. They see like, oh, you've got a really engaged community, and I'm like, I don't know why. I'm crazy, but they're still here.
Oh, Kabuki, you're wounding me. You hate guacamole? What the heck?
I don't like guacamole either. It's okay.
Oh, no.
It's okay.
And Petter prefers homemade burritos.
Oh, yeah.
Great. Chipotle burritos are, they're a greasy thing. They're a greasy, delicious
Kabuki Kid
thing.
said that they straight up threw up after having guacamole for the first time, which, you know, if you throw up at like a young age from a food, yeah, you do tend to avoid that food the rest of your life.
No.
That is true. So, I mean, obviously I know we're in the same household, but what are your overall thoughts on this? I know you lean towards the cute a little bit more than I do. Is this something that you would personally back, or is this something you feel like has a really great home, but just not for our table?
I really love this game, and I feel like if our kid was more into this style of game, that I would be more apt to back this, because I know that you probably are not going to want to play this with me. So it's like, I would want to have at least one other person in the house to play this with. But I really, really like what they're doing in this game, and you're going to be.
At least it is solo. I mean, it is 1 to 3.
Right, it is 1 to 3, and I thought about that too. I thought, oh man, would I play this solo, like on my own with this and everything, and just the amount of games that I have to go through and everything, I probably would not have a bunch of time to play a legacy style game solo, and I think that's kind of where I ended up. But it's one of those things. Like, I want another family to back this game so I can go play with them and their kids, honestly.
Okay,
like,
that's fair.
That's what I really want to have happen.
In our house, we have to compete with like Fortnite and Minecraft and everything else. To get the Skyrim, to get the kid off of the computer or off of the PlayStation can be tough sometimes. She's out there right now screaming, dude, 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 about everything. So much. I tried playing Fortnite with the kid, and I slightly wanted to low-key murder myself because I played a lot of shooting games, and she's like, dude, go over here, build this. And I'm like, I'm just going to shoot that guy. And then I did, and then we won.
I also really like the unique story, and I know that this is probably more of like a thing for a bunch of people who read a bunch of books, a bunch of different type of books and stuff.
Okay.
But coming up with a unique story and a unique world is always a challenge.
Yeah.
And I feel like that they've come up with a really cute and unique looking world And it's going to be something really exciting to get into because of that. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Like, the whole point is, like, you're going into this really cute world with this little bunny, and he's so cute. Oh
Now,
my
if you just
gosh.
made this horror-based and you're the lone survivor running from, like, a mass killer, then I'd be all in on this for some reason. And I don't know why that is. Maybe there's something wrong with
here's
me.
What it is.
I
Here's
don't
what
know.
it is. Okay, so Ice Makes needs to make the next version of this to be like Eila and something dark. Okay, where we go visit like
dark
the dark
version?
lands, yeah.
So,
And
like,
then-
didn't Zelda do that where they had, like, was it
It's
Zelda
like Light
or was
Link and
it...
Dark Link. It's Dark Link.
Yeah, I was going to say where they
and
had, like,
Dark
the light
World.
side and the dark side.
Dark World, yeah, where everything gets really creepy and crazy. You could have like the alternate version of this, and then
We
they could
need
do
more board games that have underwater levels, right? Like in Mario, so you're jumping around, and all of a sudden you're in an underwater world. It's like... That's what we need more of.
Oh, Battlecry says just turn their Wi-Fi off for a certain time. Then we can't talk to you out there.
So what we do is I went out there and I said, hey, you nerds, stop playing your dumb video games. We're about to go stream board games like adults.
Yeah.
And I just shamed her in front of her friends.
So Games of Fire says, too bad we don't live closer. We could enjoy playing this together. Forget our kids. Games of Fire, I would be 1,000 times on that. Like, I am so down for that. I want to play this game really, really bad. I just don't think it's going to be able to get to the table in my house per what I have to do with how many people don't want to play this game in my house.
See, Rodney
necessarily.
agrees. We need more underwater level board games. Because you need a board game that all of a sudden just turns into an underwater game that you didn't want, you don't need. It's extra stressful, but you just bloop, 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 as you're swimming through it. I think that's what we need.
But overall, I can't say enough good stuff about Ice Makes. They are a really
they're
great
super
company.
cool.
Super nice to talk to and everything. I had really great interactions with them. We love their other game. Their other game is fantastic.
Yeah.
The components in it were fantastic. I have
For like
nothing
for
bad
like-
to say about
I
this.
think it was like a sub $20 game. So I think it was like a $19 game
It
or
was,
something.
and it was so good.
We
And
have definitely gotten $20 worth of plays out of it.
oh
for
yeah,
sure.
absolutely. Underwater Clank is confirmed fun, says Nathan.
Okay, that's fair. You know, I have so
The
much
ice
Clank
level
stuff.
expansion, yes.
So I love Clank. So we have all the different Clank expansion stuff. But then I made the mistake of going to PAX with Skybound, and there they had Clank Legacy, and so I bought it. And so we played through Clank Legacy, and I fell in love with it. I don't know if I can just play regular Clank now because I need
it?
I need
Legacy?
that I need that penny arcade story to go with it too.
You need a story with your game.
Any board game can go underwater once. I agree with
Well-
you, Petter. Any game, it's like I can do anything at least one time.
I want to see this Pixar. It didn't happen.
Can oceans go underwater, Petter? Huh? Can it? All right, let's do this. Ready? Next one.
That's so messed up. That would be the best, though, to have all those little ocean fishies in there.
I feel like we have a game that was like
That'd be so fantastic.
that was like all laminated-ish like that. You could probably actually
like
play
every
underwater.
roll and write we have ever.
Just yeah, you could play roll and rights underwater. Totally.
Just spin the dice.
I could see that being a video of you like playing like a roll and write like underwater. You just see like the tub and you're over there like writing like underwater playing roll and write. That's how addicted to the roll and writes you are.
All right,
You take some of those Crayola crayons that let you write on the wall of your shower, and you
Oh,
can play
that's
roll and write
true.
with those.
That's true. That might work.
You just need to laminate your cards
Underwaterception.
or whatever.
Underwaterception. So this is Age of Atlantis by El Dorado Games. This is for 1 to 4 players. It should last about 35 minutes per player. Basically, this is a sort of civilization building game or a city building game as you're going through. And although you don't have like completely asymmetrical boards, you do have some components on the boards that are a little different. But this is like an alternate history version of what happened where these...
Wait. Are you saying that Atlantis isn't real?
What?
This is the true history of Atlantis.
The
I don't
true
know
history of
why
Atlantis.
you're assuming Atlantis didn't happen.
Oh, I see.
If you're an
I see.
Atlantean and you're hearing this, I'm sorry. My wife is uneducated. She will get woke. I don't. This is real history right here. So this one is interesting, right? So we didn't talk about this game at all beforehand, as far as like we didn't really
Oh,
get
that's
into
true. We
detail.
didn't discuss it.
And
or
sometimes we
anything
do,
about
sometimes
it.
we don't.
Yeah.
We generally don't talk a whole bunch about it because we want to get each other's like first reactions here on the show live, right? So this is one that I was the least excited about.
What?
Hold on.
No.
The least excited about. I was just like, you know, it looks like you got some die. Because I thought the die were things that you were just straight up rolling.
No.
As I dug deeper into it, it's my number one.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's my number one.
Because
too.
I
I'm so
thought it was
excited
going to be
right
a
now.
$100 game too, and it's not. It's like 70 or 60.
60
It's 60.
bucks.
I thought it was a $100 game. I thought you had to roll dice, so I was like, okay, I don't want to play a worker placement civilization game, but it's a worker placement civilization game with semi co-op because
Yes.
barbarian hordes are attacking, and you've got to you know, you've got to fight for the honor of Poseidon. Otherwise, he just straight up like sinks your stuff. He's just like, you're underwater. You're underwater. This whole game is underwater. Like that. That's what Poseidon does. You know how Poseidon do.
Poseidon gets angry. I mean,
and he just underwater.
That's right. That's his defense mechanism.
No good.
They're like knocking on his door like, have you ever heard of underwater?
Yeah, just whoosh, underwater. You're underwater. Everyone's underwater. So this really gives me kind of that feeling of, and you've got so many, like when you actually look at the player boards, there's so many like little different tracks you can go up, and you can win by being like super economic. You can be the one who's like the grand hero out there fighting the barbarian hordes. You can be the one that goes like the Senate route, like government route, and you've got all these really cool things like the Pegasus lets you get like, I think lets you move something extra far, and like Cerberus lets you get like extra resources. The Minotaur does 1 damage to everyone around him, and then like the next one down does like a damage to everybody in your ring. And I'm actually super psyched for it now.
Yeah, and you can put your little people in those little baskets on top of the mechanical, like, and I love that they're mechanical Pegasus, mechanical Cerberus, and Minotaur. Like, they basically, like, got access to this technology and made all these, like, technological, mythical beasts, which is fantastic, right? So Games of Fire says, this game looks so cool. Ronnie says, this game has such an amazing table presence.
Right.
I would immediately sit down and play it when seeing it somewhere.
It's
I agree.
got just enough cool looking miniatures, but not like where it's just a miniature fest, which I like miniatures, but not so much where you're just like, oh, this is just a miniature game. And you look at this and you're like, okay, what's going on? There's enough going on. And also, which we didn't mention, besides the semi-co-op part of like having to kind of work together, but not work together too hard to keep the barbarians away, otherwise we start losing sections of the city, is those dice. You're not rolling those dice.
No.
Those dice are like the morale of your people. So the more you use them, you know, basically they just straight up get tired of your butt, and they're just like, I'm tired of you. I don't want to do this anymore. They lose morale.
I love that.
So then you get that crazy push and pull where you're like, you're trying to like use them as much as possible without them losing so much morale that it bites you in the butt. And I always love that in games. Like they've done that in some other games.
Well,
like that Stonemaier game does that one.
It adds like a push your luck feature that isn't like a simple push your luck feature, you know, because this is going to operate across your board with several different people.
It's a calculated push your luck.
Right. That's the perfect word for it. A calculated push your luck portion of this game. That's just a portion of this game.
Calculated. You can unleash the myths. I actually have a t-shirt that says that, Unleash the Myth.
And
that's not true.
If you are not familiar with El Dorado games, they make, what is it?
A game called El Dorado.
Right, that's what I thought it was. And it scores really, really well on BGG.
It scores really well. It's a very beautiful looking game. I haven't gotten to play it, but I've heard good things.
Tried to get a copy of it in the past, but I don't think you were 100% down.
Did you set up like a seance or something? You
I was like
pouring some salt in a circle, and you were like,
Dorado games,
send us a copy. Our address is.
Okay. Like that, yeah.
That's fair. That's how you did it?
I did, but it didn't come to fruition. I don't know what I did wrong. Maybe the hand movements? I don't know.
Did you use Himalaya salt, or did you use like sea salt?
I used Hawaiian black salt, actually.
Someone's a connoisseur. Look out. We got a chef in our midst. Look out. So fancy.
Oh, yeah, I think it was called The Road to El Dorado.
Do we make Hawaiian black salt like money? I don't feel like we do.
No, we don't. We don't. But
fair.
It's a good thing to know and use in cooking. It's delicious. It's delicious.
I don't think they do The Road to El Dorado. They do El Dorado, which is like a black box game with gold lettering on it.
Hold on
it's
here.
tile that you're trying to like run across the tiles. It's like a race game.
I love the fact that we have this up that I can just do. It's just El Dorado, the island of El Dorado.
And they did Windward, which is one that we covered before,
and we covered Windward.
Which is when you're like up in the air and doing stuff.
Yeah, that had multiple tiers.
And you were like hunting like air whales, if I recall correctly, right?
Yes.
And you were stealing their helium or something. It was pretty legit looking.
This game right here, though, El Dorado, which is like a little tile placement game, has done really, really well. It's excellent on BGG. Like it looks fantastic. And you know that they've delivered stuff to their backers. And like,
yeah, which is big.
It's important.
Oh, that was one of the games we were going to talk about. We were going to talk about one of Sandy Peterson's games.
Oh.
So Sandy Peterson has a game right now, which is like Army Men versus dinosaurs.
Yeah, the dinosaur one.
And it looks really cool, but the reason why we didn't want to bring it up is because we've backed some Sandy Peterson games, but he's got like 5 or 6 in the pipe right now.
Yeah, he has a bunch in the pipe.
And he might deliver. We're not saying he won't. We're not trying to slander somebody.
He's delivered so far. It's just
There's a lot. There's a lot in the pipeline, right?
It's taking a while.
When you've got 5 or 6 games that haven't delivered yet, it gets kind of a little bit nervous where you're like, okay, are these going to come out? Are any of these going to get finished? Like, can you deliver some of these before doing your next Kickstarter?
So, Dr. Gloryhogg, are you saying that you're 100% in on this game?
Yeah, because this one just had one pledge too, right? There wasn't like a super awesome mega deluxe pledge. I think it was just the pledge.
The pledge.
Yeah, so I like that too. So as much as I like deluxe stuff, I like this just $60. You're getting this game. It's going to have a good table presence. It's going to look amazing. It looks like it's got a lot of really cool different ideas in it. And you don't have to like shell out like another $50 for the super ultra mega deluxe one to get these cool pieces. Like it just kind of comes with this.
Let's see here. Kabuki says, let's see, El Dorado. Oh, Road to El Dorado is a Knizia, I'm pretty sure.
Maybe.
Let's see here. I have old terrain type game that is about making airships and hunting sky whales. Really?
Huh.
Oh, that's really interesting. I thought that was a new thing, hunting sky whales. What the heck?
No, it's been done before.
Hello, Aussie solo gamers. Good to have you in chat today. So this is your number one then.
Yeah. No, this is my number one.
Will back.
Definitely. I want to back this one.
Totally doing this.
Usually, which is funny, I'm usually the one that's more hesitant on these, where I'm just like, I don't know. But this one actually really sold me as I got more and more into the gameplay of it and all the different aspects of it. I was like, okay, there's a lot going on in this in a good way. I like a game where I feel like I can always find a different path to victory. Because sometimes I just get smacked down that first game and I got to find like a different path to win.
And you're also on this board here, each section has different resources that you get off of each section. Like there's so much depth going into this game with you just going, okay, I'm using my workers for doing like basically like worker placement stuff where you're placing workers down
and I love
and you're
worker
building
placement
things.
games too.
And you're
so
building things, and then to have all this extra stuff happening, if you visit somebody else's factories or whatever buildings, something could happen. And like there's so much strategic depth of everything happening here. I really like it. I'm really excited about this game.
Yeah.
I'm down. This was my number one too.
It's always so glad when it matches up.
I know.
It's like you have
that
half a
never
coconut
happens.
and I have half a coconut and
That
together
never.
we make beautiful music.
That never happens. I'm gonna have to take these bowls away from you, Dr. Gloryhogg.
I'm going to watch Monty Python after this.
You only get one coconut joke per month, okay?
I know, I did it yesterday too.
So,
Hashtag no regrets.
You'd back that?
I'm pretty clear I said that.
Are you sure? I just need a confirmation before I back it.
Yeah, you've never needed confirmation before. This is a lie! Liar!
I want to know if our chat are going to be backers on that game as well. So I'm excited to know.
Yeah, that's my favorite one out of the bunch this week, for sure.
Looks good.
For sure.
All right, next up we have Overlord, a boss battle adventure by Brotherwise Games. This is for 2 to 4 players. It should last about 20 to 30 minutes. This is going to be a tile placement game where you're going to be placing tiles down and you're going to be putting like little mini bosses and boss monsters in your little dungeon, with some set collection involved in there and kind of rearranging things, which I thought was really cool. And I believe this is from the same company that did Boss Monster, which is the card game. It's like
you don't have to believe.
Card placement.
It is a true fact.
It is a factual thing. Statement. Factual thing. The 8-bit love right here, okay? So Petter says, I like Boss Monster, but Overlord I'm less sold on. That's really interesting, Petter. I would love to know why you are less sold on this particular game.
I feel like this game company really missed the boat by not having like their logo red, like why? Like 3 frogs doing it. You know what I'm talking about.
Ronnie says, wow, I didn't look into Atlantis too much so far, but definitely backing it now. So much bang for your buck. That is what I'm saying, Ronnie.
It seems like a heck of a game in a small package. Well,
absolutely.
not even a small package, but it seems like there's going to be a lot of fun stuff in it.
I think when you first scroll by it, you're like, okay, it doesn't look too different from everything else. But
Which we've talked about. Like, your page has to be engaging, and it didn't super jump out to me right away. It wasn't until I really dove into that
and then
second
you're like,
time.
holy cow, this looks amazing.
Because that first thing is just, like I said, it's a glance, as a closer to a glance, and then like when we start getting like narrowing it down, then we have to really make some hard decisions. That's when I dive into it deep, and then I dove into it again before the show just to make sure I was fresh and up to date on everything, and I was just like, wow, this is the one.
So good. But what about Overlord? What are your first takes on this?
So I liked Boss Monster. We played it a couple times. It was really early on in our gaming, in our gaming influence, right? So I don't know how it would stand up to games that we've played recently, right? I like a little bit more depth in the games. I find myself shying away from tile placement games unless they're polyomino.
Yeah, which I thought was really interesting because you usually don't like that puzzling sort of business to have to work with at all.
But if you add something else to it, like a drafting mechanic, that's cool. Which this does have a drafting mechanic, which I was super excited about. I feel like this is going to be a lighter game overall. I feel like it's definitely more entry weight, which is fine. But you just have to be realistic about your gaming group and where you're at. And we are not typically playing with people that are at the entry level of games. And it looks cool, like you're grabbing tiles, and if you put a swamp by like a coast, you're gonna get bonus points. And if you have if you have a bunch of forests, you're gonna get points for every forest. And if you have the most graveyards, you're gonna get a one-time bonus. So there's a lot of things that everyone's familiar with in tile laying type games. And the art's kind of cool, even though I usually shy away from 8-bit art. But I think overall, it's just probably gonna be too light of it's just too much of a standard tile laying game for me personally. I don't feel like it jumps out at me except for the art itself.
So let's see here. We have Petter that says, I think that adventure doesn't seem to be there, more of a puzzle. And Kabuki Kid says, I'm the same. I'm not a fan of tiling as a general rule, but there are exceptions, of course. And We Game Together is here. Hello. Can't wait for our live stream tonight. I know we're going to be playing Medium tonight.
She showed me how to play the game, and we think completely differently. She's like an engineer space alien, and I'm like a normal person. So our brainwaves do not mesh all the time. We will have arguments sometimes about the same thing, and we're both pro for the same argument. And then I'm like, wait, are you saying you do want to get a new refrigerator? She's like, yeah, that's what I've been saying this whole time. And I'm like, then let's do it. I also want a new refrigerator. Like, it's ridiculous.
I hate it when we argue for hours about something. We're saying the same thing. That's the worst.
It happens, unfortunately.
So we're going to be doing that at 6:30 Mountain Standard Time on this, okay? So I keep
And if you join us, you have to bring your own coconuts.
Oh, God. So with this particular game here, I'm going to tell you, I did really like the fact that they took this card-based game where it's basically like a scrolling dungeon that you're going through, and you're just working on card placement for like, I think it was like 3 deep or something like that. Like,
it's a
very simple.
It's a 4x3 grid, I believe.
No, I'm talking about like the card game. The card game.
Yes.
And how they almost like leveled that up. Like they went 4 levels up on this, and then they made that same sort of idea and changed it into, okay, now we're going to have this matter up, down, like that orthogonally thing. And then not only that, we're going to have bosses and mini bosses running around through your dungeon. And then that's going to change your scores, because essentially the base game of it is the same, in which you're just trying to match up things in order to get the right types of points, right? But in this version, they've done such a better job of going through and going, okay, we're going to level up this game and make it more challenging. So if you like the beginning portion, or that first game, then you're going to really, really like this game, is what I'm saying. Because this is like, I don't know if you go back and play the other game after this one, right? I don't know, because like this one would be better, I would think.
They theme together very, very well. Where one, you're kind of crawling through the dungeon, setting up, and this is like you're building out your whole Zelda world map, right? That's what it reminds me of. It's like the Zelda world map that you would have.
Right.
And like something like Link to the Past or something, right? Where you're like, this is the world map, and then you go down and then you fight through the individual dungeon. I think it looks very cool. I just don't think it's got enough pop for me for a tile placement game. A tile placement game has to really, really win me over. If it doesn't come with at least 2 coconuts, I'm not playing it.
2 coconuts approved. So Petter says you lose a cool factor of beating down monsters from boss monsters.
Yeah.
This feels almost Euro.
I don't believe the heroes actually go through this one at all. You're just building the world that the boss monsters would live in. So it's like one of them, you're in the dungeon and the heroes are going through it and you're trying to kill the heroes. And this one is more like, this is the world the heroes would live in to get to the dungeon, is what it feels like.
Yeah, you did miss the heroes. Yeah, they're not going through on this one. This one's more about organizing the boss monsters in the dungeon and gaining your points that way. But essentially, you are still laying, like one's laying cards and then getting points off of that, and this one's laying tiles, but you're having to think in that more than just one linear fashion for that, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? Okay.
It does. I also saw the campaign.
All right. That is what I'm trying to say by
Ellen's
like the
a fan
upgrading
of my coconuts. Deal with it.
Oh.
These are actually bamboo, I think.
You and your coconuts.
But still, the heart of a coconut warrior is still within me.
How much is this game?
That's not too much. It's 40.
It was 40. Okay, it was 40.
But they also have a deluxe on this one too, I think. Didn't this one have like a second level pledge?
This is a game that you're going to break out.
Yeah, it does. It's got the tile tower broken token one.
All of your like non-gaming friends or video game friends
so
to get
you
them
say
into
the word
this.
non-gaming, but I would just say more casual gaming.
Well,
it's
casual gaming.
Because there's lots of people that will play a game, but they don't own, 100 or 200 or 300 games, right? And even people that watch this channel don't. Not everybody here has 400, 500 games or plays heavy Euros.
Thank you so much for Ryan Cleveland being a super chat backer. We appreciate that, and you
That's really cool.
dropping that. It's so cute. So cute.
So I think that it's a good game for like I said, that kind of entry level, and you just have to kind of gauge your gaming group. And if you're mostly playing solo or you're mostly playing with people that are hobby gamers, I just think it might be a little bit, but it might be a good palate cleanser in between other games.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, we're gonna play Medium, which is like a super light game, party game, which is fine, but it's not one that I play every single day.
You're gonna have a lot of fun with it. Either way,
Medium?
you're gonna no with this.
Oh, with
you're gonna
this.
have a lot of fun with this and introducing new people to it.
Gotcha.
Say yes. Say yes.
I'm just listening to Ellen over here talking about Monty Python quotes and stuff, and yeah, no, I got it. That's why I'm doing the coconuts, Ellen.
Oh my gosh.
That's
Let's
the only
hear.
reason why I have these coconuts.
That's Kabuki Kid. I'm a Python nut. Did I miss Alan? Is Alan in chat?
What are you talking about right
I
now?
thought you said Alan.
Ellen.
Ellen.
With an
Ellen.
E.
I was like, what are you talking? Alan is not in chat today.
I'm so sorry, people. She's like this. It's ridiculous.
Things to come.
So like I said, I think
later
it's
tonight.
you know, we always talk about like we're gonna give you our opinions based off of how it works with our group, and if your gaming group is similar or not, that's gonna make a difference. There's definitely been games that I know people have backed that we didn't, just because gaming tastes do differ, which is what I love about gaming. There are so freaking many games out there.
This is
You will find one you like.
a perfect game though too. If you have somebody that's heavy into video games and then
Yes.
bringing them into board games and starting them with something that looks so digitalized,
Oh, we
or
have
like
friends
something.
that we have friends that I would definitely play this with, and like we'd play this with your mom and stuff like that.
Come
But-
to the dark
But
side.
I'm looking at the world in the lens that we are currently in. And the world we're currently in, it's just you and I in this house, and I'm going to play a 90-minute version of, you know, Age of Atlantis or the Atlantis game versus this. Why are you making a poo-poo face?
That's it. Everybody's gonna see my face right now. So you're saying you wouldn't play this game with me?
That is not at all what I said. Why are you like this? That's it.
All right. So would
2
you
coconuts down. Now you're getting 2 coconuts down.
Dr. Gloryhogg, would you back this?
I currently would not. It looks like it'd be fun. I just think this is something that I would pick up at a game store just to kind of mess around with, but not something that would make a permanent home in my personal collection.
All right. Well,
It's being very curated now. It's gotten too big. It is what you would say out of control. It is on 2 calyxes and all over our kitchen table. We cannot eat off of our table. We have so many games. So tell me we need another game right now.
we need another game right now.
Oh my gosh, you told me that. Why did I set myself up for this?
Doc's sentiment is definitely my thoughts on Overlord. I will have many similar games, and I'm not sure what this is bringing to my collection that I don't have already. Okay, that's fair.
It's got to pop, right? There's got to be a reason to get it. And unless it's something like a new concept we don't have a lot of or something, there's got to be something really interesting about it to make me want to buy it.
And I want to know if our chat's going to be backing this. Maybe
Wow,
I
battle.
personally have a like soft spot for that 8-bit style.
She loves, okay, so this is how much she loves
Style
8-bit
game.
stuff. She's got 8-bit sunglasses. I bought her 8-bit flowers for Valentine's Day. She's got a bunch of other 8-bit stuff. She's got an 8-bit tie. She's got 8-bit shirt. She loves 8-bit stuff. She loves old school stuff. I am a dirty, filthy, filthy casual gamer, and I don't like to go backwards and play games that are older. Very rarely do I. I just recently started playing Command & Conquer because they remastered it. If it was the original Command & Conquer with the old 8-bitty like tanks and stuff, I wouldn't play
It's
it.
still 8-bitty style tanks and stuff.
It's
like,
not.
It
It's
looks the same.
remastered.
They just wrote remastered on it.
It's remastered. It looks cleaner, okay?
Right.
I want my games to keep up with the technology of the times. Why am I hitting my hand so much?
Dr. Gloryhogg wouldn't even go back and play Final Fantasy VII,
Yeah,
everyone.
don't at me on Twitter. I don't care. It looks old, and I don't want to play it.
Which is one of the best Final Fantasies ever.
Not going to do it.
And wouldn't do it.
I'll play Final Fantasy
Wouldn't do it.
X.
And that was whenever he was playing Final Fantasy X. He couldn't go back just a few.
I couldn't. I
Can
couldn't
you
do
believe
it.
that?
Can't do it. It's too old. It's too old. I'm part of the cult of the new, and I don't even care.
All right, Kabuki says I'm very cool with vintage video games. It's sort of something I know a lot about. So I like playing old games still, right?
That's fair.
I go back and I'll play like Bubble Bobble and
You
stuff
will.
from
And
Nintendo.
you go back and you play like the old Link and stuff like that. and
Right.
You've done that and stuff, and I won't. If they see, like, I'm one of those weirdos that if they remaster something, I'll do it. Like, if they're like, oh, I'm going to remaster, like, Legend of Zelda for N64, I would play that. Majora's Mask? I would play it. But I don't want to go
Oh.
backwards and play it on an old system.
Ronnie also couldn't play Final Fantasy VII, the old one.
See, but the
definitely
remake, I'm looking at the remake. And you know what? Tony Hawk is coming out with a new game, which is just remastered Tony Hawk 1 and 2, I believe.
Oh my god.
And I am super hyped for it because I played the crap load out of it, as you like to say.
Yeah.
I played the crap out of it when it first came out for PlayStation 2, and I'm excited about it because it's remastered. I don't want to go back and play the old version. No, I'm not going to go backwards and buy a PlayStation 1 to go play like the original Tony Hawk Pro
Kabuki,
Skater.
they did completely change, I feel like, Final Fantasy VII. Like, I have not played the remake yet, but from what I've seen, there were some things I was like, wait, what? What happened?
Yeah,
They've taken stuff
she was
out
upset
and,
about
like,
the tactical RPG part of it. She liked the turn-based and stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
Which is what I think of when I think of Final Fantasy. But
you have
to
to
be
have
fair,
turn-based.
my first experience in Final Fantasy World was Final Fantasy X.
That is
I had
true.
never played it
is
before
true.
that.
Yeah. Okay, so moving on. You're not going to back that.
Overlord, yeah.
I like it. I would back it, but I got Age of Atlantis on the brain right now. I think the Age of Atlantis is just
Hey, everybody,
it's my number one.
everybody has a
this week.
limited amount of time on this planet.
It's my number one.
Not everybody can be immortal like me. So you have to really pick and choose what games, and I want the most bang for my buck. If I'm going to sit down, I want this game to be pop. It's got to be good.
Pop.
Pop.
Oh, we've been watching too much TV lately.
Too much
TV.
Community.
All right, everyone.
regrets.
This is the one. Terraforming Mars, the Big Box 3D Tiles Edition
This
by
is the-
Stronghold Games.
This is the we're going to need a bigger table edition.
We're gonna need a bigger
I
table.
don't know if
for
our
this.
table could actually handle it, like structure-wise. If our table is strong enough to handle a game of this magnitude.
Hold on. I'm gonna rewind that. Look at that. Look at that beautifulness.
Okay,
Look
that
at-
is pretty
oh,
sweet
God.
looking.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
But can you
Look at it.
imagine like a Euro, like Terraforming Mars being as in a big of a box as like all of our side stuff together? That seems like a lot, right?
I can't hear you right now, Dr. Gloryhogg.
Okay.
I'm watching this box be assembled. I love it when they do this. And
can we
looks
just have
fantastic.
Can I just have you look at this video instead of buying
God.
the game? I feel like.
No, it's so good. It's so good.
All right. I want to talk about Terraforming Mars.
All right. Okay, hold on. So we're going to talk about Terraforming Mars, the game itself first, and then are we going to talk about the tiles? Because
Yes.
it's like two totally different things and two totally different pledges on here. You can just get the regular, like, consolidated big Terraforming Mars, like all the games together on this.
Right.
And then you can get
There's multiple
3D
levels.
tiles, okay?
And you can get domes, and you can get metal resource cubes.
Okay, so let's
and
talk
you can
about
get all kinds of stuff.
Terraforming Mars first.
All right, so my first experience with Terraforming Mars
Back in
when
the
I was
day.
a young pup.
When
We were
played
at BGG.
Terraforming Mars.
Terraforming Mars was the hottest that year because it was just being released at.
So hot.
We weren't at we were at BGG.
Yeah, that's right.
And so like it just sold out. We could not
did.
get a copy of it. So it took like a while for them to kind of get more copies back in, and then we just couldn't get it. And then by then it already passed like that hype frame. So it was 2 years later for her birthday. I got it for her because she was excited about it. I knew she still wanted it.
That's right.
And so we'd missed the hype train, but I knew that it was a much of an anticipated game, and everybody was really excited about it and everything. But we were 2 years late. We played it and we enjoyed it. We really enjoyed it, surprisingly. And I was like, we should play this again. So we did. And the next weekend we played it again a couple more times. I think Terraforming Mars is a very good game. It has always looked kind of ugly, though. It's always been a little ugly. Hey, some games are ugly.
It's Mars. Mars isn't supposed to be pretty. It's just a bunch of red
They made
dirt.
it pretty right there, though, didn't they? That's a pretty Mars. So my thoughts on this are, not only has Stronghold seen the hundreds of different people posting pictures of their own printed 3D printed like Terraforming Mars tiles and stuff. I feel like they had to jump on that really quick because they're like, oh my god, everybody out in the community's making their own.
Oh my god, they're making tiles now. We gotta do something.
They're making money off of our games. I better get out here. I feel like that was kind of the motivation behind it. I feel like it's a really good game. I don't know if I can justify buying it, just like spending like $80 to get tiles for a game I already own. Like, will we play Terraforming Mars enough that it justifies having this? We don't have a regular game group come over enough with whatever everything that's going on currently to really just justify like having a blinged out Terraforming Mars. Because Greg is over Terraforming Mars. If Greg gets too much hype about a game, he's over it. Doesn't matter how good it is. He's like, I heard it was really good, so I don't like it. That's Greg. Tell me that's not Greg.
Well, I gotta talk crap about
Hey,
Greg behind his
He's
back.
not on. That's his bad. He could tune in too. He knows our YouTube channel. I'm saying Greg is one of those people that can be a little contradictory, where if he hears that like a game is really good, he's like, it doesn't live up to its hype. That's fine, Greg. It lived up to its hype. It's a really good game. I don't know if I can justify, though, spending another $80 on a game that we already own. Right? Because it's not an expansion. It's not adding something new. All I really want from this is the $20 add-on that gives me the dual player boards.
Oh yeah, hashtag free Greg in chat.
Well, I'm at the. All I want to do is spend that $20 for that add-on for those dual layer player boards. That's what I want for my game.
So I'm really surprised by everybody in chat that did do the 3D printed tiles and everything. That's really cool. Like, I don't have a 3D printer at home because I feel like once I open that door, there will just be so much money spent towards doing that stuff that it'll just open up a really bad box.
It's like staying away from like miniature games, big miniature games, because
I know how much money I'm going to put into
miniature war games, I should say, like Warhammer and stuff.
So that's really interesting that a lot of you have already gotten 3D printed tiles, and I want to know in chat since you already have the 3D printed tiles, then does that mean this is like an absolute no for you, or are you looking at some of these printed tiles or some of these 3D tiles and you're like, oh wait, like these look nicer, or I like these more, or I could still see getting these because of this? Like, I'm curious because I really like the water tiles, and I love the fact that all of this fits together so nicely in this box.
Here's the thing. If we wouldn't have already bought the game, I think we got the game, it was like $50 or something at the time. If we didn't already own this game, I would jump in on the big box. And get like the 3D printed tiles, everything, because then I'd feel like I'm buying a Kickstarter deluxe game, which is fine. I don't mind doing that. But we already own the game. So like to spend $80 is like the lowest buy-in. To spend $80 just to get upgraded to a game I already have, I just can't justify it personally.
So Kiefer totally agrees with me. Oh my goodness. Okay, the efficiency of the box inserts are fantastic, but it's a decent chunk of change for a game.
Yes.
That's from 2016. But that box, Kiefer.
It looks amazing.
For the OCD part of me, I'm just like, it fits together so nice. And with all the 3D tiles, I can store them in all one thing.
I'm gonna tell you guys a secret about Gloryhound. I don't want her to hear it though.
Oh no.
The original box fits everything perfectly. It's just fine.
I can hear you.
Oh my god. You know what else fits together really fine? A normal game box. It just slides together. And, oh look, it's so perfect already. You don't need it.
Well, a lot of other people need this in their lives.
Yeah, no, I agree. But I'm going to spend my $60 on the Atlantis game.
I am waiting.
I'm not going to spend $80 on a game that I already have. It looks amazing, though.
For all the amazing stuff. Those water tiles are just so nice and everything.
Hands down, it looks amazing. I agree. But I do not want to spend $80 on it.
So good.
I'll tell you what. I'll spend your guys' money on it if you guys want to send us $80. And then I'll showcase it.
So the big box version of this is $99. Which...
Yes. That comes with, I think that goes with the expansion type stuff.
All the 3D tiles, complete storage, unlocked promos and stuff like that.
Oh, that's right. So you can fit everything in it, the base game and all the 3D tiles.
Right.
The $80 version, the $79, is just the tiles in a separate box.
Battle Cry says, go on Etsy and buy them cheaper.
Yeah, for $80 at the cheapest price point.
Ronnie says, I thought that the big box expansion Kickstarter would eventually come, so I held off for buying a copy until now, so I'm all in on this one.
See, that's my
smart
point, Ronnie. That's my whole point. If we didn't already own the game for like 2 years now and had played it, like, I would do it.
Eric says $20 on Steam for Terraforming Mars Digital. All
right.
What?
So, Eric makes a good point, because what else do we have? Do you have Terraforming Mars on your Steam account?
I think I do, actually.
And do I have Terraforming Mars on my Steam account? I do.
I think so.
So we already have 3 copies of this game. We've already given Stronghold $50 for the base game, plus an extra $20 for Steam, plus an extra $20 for my Steam. We've already given them $100.
Plus the expansions.
We have bought 1 or 2 expansions.
Yeah.
We've already given them over $100 for Terraforming Mars. Just stop. You have a problem.
And, oh wow, so Fatal, bought theirs for $40, and it came with a broken token insert. What?
Yeah, see, that's the thing. I want those
totally hashtag winning. Oh my god.
Yeah. See, the only thing I've looked at to upgrade for Terraforming Mars is the boards, because I feel like the boards with our cat and everything, it does get knocked around. Like, our kid has knocked and messed up our game with Terraforming Mars once. We got to the point where we stopped playing it whenever the kid was awake. We were waiting until like nighttime to play.
I can't wait to see everybody's painted up versions of this and everything. Like, I'm gonna be so in it for the pictures of this.
If you've got the money and you don't already own the game, I say go for it. I just have to give you my personal opinion with my money My money says
And your money
no.
says no and no go.
Yeah, when I talk to my money, it's in whispers because there's so small, such a small amount of it. Yeah, I go. Here's my wallet. I open up. I go. Do I have enough money to kickstart this for really no objective reason? What's that? I'm behind on our rent? Oh, I guess not. I'm not behind on our rent.
I didn't feel like. I didn't realize that you were so personal and up close with your wallet.
Oh, I talk to my money all the time.
Do you?
Yeah, unfortunately though, it gets really quiet at the end of the month. There's not very much of it.
Oh, that's sad.
I'll be like, money, are you still there? And it's like, no.
Oh, okay. So BGG store Terraforming Mars dual layer player boards for $20 for 5. Oh,
there you go.
Yeah, there you go, Eric. That's right. That's
Eric
a
is
Father's
getting me that
Day
for
gift.
Father's Day. Thanks, Eric. That's so sweet. Hey, what are you getting me for Father's Day?
I can't tell you, but it's definitely
So
not
you know
a
what
board
she
game.
got me for Father's Day was literally our child, because our child was born. So it's gonna be Father's Day, then our kid's birthday, then my birthday is like the next week. It's like intense right now.
Everybody's birthday's in June.
My stepbrother, her brothers, her dad.
Hold on. For all you June babies,
We've talked about this. Are you gonna mention the October thing?
your parents are freaky in October for Halloween. That's why. So you better thank your parents for being freaks.
I'm just, yeah. Cosplay's a thing. Hashtag cosplay babies. Hashtag Halloween baby.
Oh,
Hashtag
Battlecry talks to their wallet too. It's usually just bye.
bye. I talked to my mom, like, cash me outside.
Eric says, go Rose.
Hey, it's just true. Your family has a ton of birthdays in July. Well, that's probably because your parents, the people in your family, Kabuki Kid, were buying the
my
discounted costumes
goodness.
after
Oh my
Halloween's
goodness.
over.
Oh, there you go.
If you're a July baby, it's because they got discounted costumes after Halloween was
Discounted
over, and they had to
costumes, right.
try it on to see if it'll fit
Try
for
it
next year.
on before next year, just to make sure. Just
Yeah.
to make sure. You want to make sure that thing fits so you don't have to return
See,
it or
everybody talks
anything.
to their wallet except for you, apparently. Maybe that's what makes it easier for you to push that back button, because you
That
don't
must
talk
be
to the
it.
wallet.
Yeah, because I don't talk to the wallet,
Yeah.
and then I'm just like, back that, back that, back that.
Oh my.
Okay, more like back. There we go. it's less ferocious
Sometimes, though,
whenever I do it.
whenever the dice campaigns come up, though, for different dice, you're like, back that, back that, back that, back that, back that, back
Well,
that.
that's true. That's true.
Mine.
Or Christmas, either way, times we're festive. Yes,
That's
absolutely,
true. That's true.
absolutely. Only during the most festive of times, okay?
Hey, it's cold out. You got to bundle up tight. So chilly. So chilly.
All right, everyone. Let me know in the comments what games you're backing this week, because we're always interested to know,
Atlantis.
especially if we end up like missing something. You're like, I'm backing this sweet
The
game, and I'm like, what is that?
of Atlantis. Do it. And if you don't like it, at her. Don't talk to me.
We also have our game that we are playing with We Game Together later today at
We are
6:30
playing
Mountain
Medium,
Standard Time. That's right.
the psychic game about
Overall,
Stuff.
just prepare to find out how weird my brain is, because
It's
my
real
brain
weird.
does not work like anybody else's at all. This is why I can't play Dixit and like ever win.
it's Abby normal.
It is. It's a little Abby normal. It's fine though. It's fine. We also are playing on Sunday.
What are we doing today?
Let me think. It's this one game.
Oh, there's this independent game company that reached out to
It's like
us.
a smaller game
I
company.
think it's called like Celio Fair.
I think that was the name.
Yeah, it's like Gloomhaven, Jaws of the Lion. I think it's a working title. I don't know if they're gonna keep that title.
I don't know either.
But yeah, we'll be playing that Sunday.
There was like these foreteller people that had also contacted us, and we're gonna help us out with something.
Yeah, we will have some of the official audio for that also.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hopefully. I don't want to say for sure because they are literally in the process of making it currently.
That's true. That's true.
So before you super hype it up, they might not get it to us in time.
And what else do we have? We're playing Barbarian Battlegrounds on Board Game Spotlight. We're playing Into the Deep
On Board Game
on
Spotlight.
Board Game Spotlight. Do we have any games planned for next week yet? Other ones?
I think you did. I think you put stuff on our calendar already. There's already stuff coming.
We'll see. We'll see. We don't know what we're doing
my
here. We're
God.
just here to entertain people, okay?
That's
It
true.
looks like, okay, We Game Together says it'll just be silliness. I can agree it's going to be insanely silly. Like, it's going to be fantastic. I'm so excited about it. Absolutely.
Oh, we're going to try to play Merchants of the Dark Road if we get it.
That's right, Merchants of the
time.
Dark Road. If we get that in time. Nothing this week. My wallet says thank you. And then trying to buy a house. Oh, okay.
That's fair.
Well, I hope you succeed in that. That's always a rough time whenever you're trying to do that.
Yeah.
Ronnie says Project Elite Kickstarter from Come On was delivered at many places a few days ago. Did you guys back it? We did not. We did not back that one. Let's see here. I just bought Okami? Okama. I don't know. For like the third time, downloading it now. I want it for PS4 too. I have not played that game at all. I'm going to have to go look that up.
All the hype for PlayStation right now is about Last of Us 2. Last of Us 2.
Are they doing it on PS5 or PS4?
It's like releasing today.
Today? Okay.
Yeah, today or tomorrow.
So,
I don't super hype follow all the different PlayStation stuff because I usually end up getting stuff like when it's super late, like when it's the Game of the Year edition,
when
or
it's all cheap and you're like,
yeah.
oh yeah, cheap
I'm not gonna lie, I got Witcher Game of the Year
games.
edition for $20, and I'm pretty happy about that. It's very rare that I get them when they first release, but Last of Us might be one of those.
Aussie Solo Gamer says, waiting for Role Player Adventures next week. I cannot wait for that one either. So excited.
Ooh,
So excited.
Okama's an older game. I'm so excited. I hope it's very boxy.
I'm totally going to look it up, and I'll probably end up playing
Probably.
it because that's how I am. I love the old games. They're good.
Yeah, I can't
They're
wait for
good.
Last of Us. I might stream some Last of Us just because you can see me freak out. I get super scared playing zombie games.
You do. It's awesome
Yeah.
to watch as I'm like over there playing.
She won't play them.
Playing my little island game.
Animal Crossing?
And, yeah, and then you're like,
Yeah, because I'll be playing and I'll just be like, oh, come on. That's messed up. That's messed
and
up.
then I get a game in a game because I get to watch you get scared, which, by the way, used to be my favorite thing to do ever in the house until I injured DrGloryhogg, was just scaring the bejesus out of him all the time in the house. All the time. Those are some other stories. We'll have to talk about those other stories later, but like
Fair.
all the time in the house. Imagine never being able to be safe in your own house.
Yeah, it's fun.
All right, Chad, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. We really appreciate you being in here and talking to us. And thank you to Ryan, our super chat backer. We really appreciate you helping us out in our show because this show is not really sponsored by the game companies like directly or anything like that. We actually pick all of this content on our own to give to you guys, so we are not influenced by what we talk about, and we really, really enjoy keeping the show that way.
We are not under the influence.
No, not during this show. Not during this show, okay?
That makes it sound ominous.
And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe to the rest of our content, as we will be playing lots of Kickstarters and hanging out with you guys the rest of the week. Other than that, we will see all of you hopefully later tonight.
Coconut Serenade for the leave.